Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So if you've been following my channel, you know that I am mainly working on a recreational electric power sport equipment like scooters, mobility scooters, electric ATVs, all kinds of fun equipment. Plus, if I have time, I'm working on vehicles, my personal vehicles or somebody's vehicle. So I'm sharing the video to help you understand how to do this and that procedure and what kind of tools and parts you will need. On this particular video I have 2009 328 XI manual transmission, and I am going to replace front struts with all needed parts to make this front suspension work as new again. This is the brand that I chose. This is a OEM replacement struts, and left and the right side will have a different part number. So this is the part number of one of them, and this is another one, made in Romania. Should be good quality. Now then you will need a rubber boot. It's really inexpensive part. This is the part number, same for both sides. Now the next would be the bump stop, and this is the part number of the Fabi brand, which is the aftermarket, but should be okay. And the last part that I will be replacing, it's a strut mount made in Germany, and this is the part number. So stay tuned to see what kind of tools I'm going to use in order to install all of those parts. Now, for your safety, don't forget to choke your wheels, and you can raise your vehicle from underneath. You have a middle point, so you can jack up the front end of your vehicle, and you can install the jack stand for much simple and safer procedure when you're working on the front suspension. Just wanted to mention, make sure that you put your jack exactly underneath of that middle point, that it will not slip, otherwise your jack might damage all of the underneath components like hoses or even the radiator. So be very careful when you're jacking up at the middle point. Now, after you remove the wheel, you can remove this bolt right here, which is you will need a E14 inverted socket. So once you remove this bolt, you can push this bracket out of your way so you can reach that nut right there, because you'll be removing those 3 nuts at the very last step to drop down that strut. Now, next step is removing stabilizer link. This is a 16mm nut, and before you remove it, you can always spray with penetrating oil, because if you never removed it before, it's going to be kind of tough to remove it. It's the nut will be seized up. Plus, this middle rod will be spinning when you will be removing, so you will have to hold it from the inside with a 17mm wrench. Let me show you how it looks like. So from the inside you'll be holding with a 17mm wrench, and from the outside you will be using 16mm socket to remove this nut right here. I'm always using my impact tool because it makes my life easier and faster in this type of a procedure. Now the next step, removing this bolt right here. I'm also going to recommend you to spray a little bit of penetrating oil and wait for a minute or two. Now you can push down this hose if it's on your way when it comes to removing that nut. Now on my vehicle it's a 18mm nut and the bolt, and it will slide out fairly easy, unless you will need to hammer it out a bit if it was too rusty and sitting extremely tight. Now you can put down this bracket right here, And the next step, you will need to spread this knuckle strut holding bracket. So some people use a small pry bar if they can reach right here, but there is a special tools for it, so let me show you which one I'm going to use. Now this is the tool that used for spreading that knuckle. This is an original OEM tool, which is a Hazard brand, part number 49125N-5N, but you don't have to buy such an expensive tool. You can buy a knockoff if you're doing this one-time work on your vehicle. I'm working a lot on my vehicle, so I decided to buy more expensive because of the quality of the steel. So basically what it's doing, it's actually, as you can see, the middle tone is spreading, and is going to push against those two knuckle holding, let's say, clamp. So let's do it. Well, this is how this tool look like when it's installed in place, and all I need to do just ratchet to spread those tongues, and then you will see that your knuckle, maybe you have to hammer it a bit, but you will see already that it's moving from its original rusty spot, and it's going to drop down. Now be careful that it will not drop down on your hand or knee or leg, so maybe you want to put like a wooden block underneath, but you will have to put underneath of the ball joint, not underneath of the brake disc shield. So otherwise it will get bent and you will have extra work of straightening. So try to put some kind of wooden block like 1 inch below the actual ball joint. Let me show you. Now this is, I just put a wooden block, couple spacers, so my knuckle can rest on the wooden block, and now I have enough room to move the actual strut and remove it away from the car. This is actual tool, how it's spread it, so you can see more clearly how it works. Basically you can try to insert pry bar from the inside and spread it out as much as you can, but again I would recommend to use a penetrating fluid to spray it right here, so it can be easy removal for you. Well, now we are ready to drop down the strut, and now we need to remove those 3 nuts as the last step. Now those are 13mm nuts. Remove 2 of them and leave one of them still threaded a little bit while you're holding your strut with your hand from underneath and removing the last couple turns of this nut with your other hand, so the strut will not drop down, will not damage any of the components. And here's my old 15 years old strut that needs to take care of. The strut mount has lots of play, and as you can see, stop bump, plus the strut is leaking, not as bad on this side, but on the other side it's very bad. So let's try to disassemble this, and let's see what kind of tool I need. Now on my Mercedes-Benz I've been using this strut compressor, which this is the brand name, Canvik Scan Grip, made in Denmark. I bought it years ago from Baum Tools website on eBay, and I've been pretty happy with the quality because it's made in Europe, not Chinese. And the beauty of this strut compressor that it comes with different adapters for different vehicles, like this one for Mercedes-Benz, for example. This one is for BMW They have different jaws, size of the jaws, and even universal clamp like this. So let's try to install this strut compressor on BMW Strut that I never installed before. Now, as you can see, proper tool fits properly because it's made at the actual factory that they design everything. They work on that for many hours. Like for example, this adapter for the top mount has a special cutout, so it's gonna fit perfectly BMW. The jaw is going to be exact size, and it's really easy job overall. Comes with a safety cable just in case something goes wrong. And yeah, I'm not promoting any of the tool because I pay for all of those tools myself, but it just, if you work on the cars all the time, you better buy yourself a proper tools, proper strut compressor, because this is pretty dangerous stuff. If you buy a wrong size jaws or a weak steel strut compressor, it can fail anytime and can do lots of damages, even might injure you or kill you. So it's very important to be working with the springs carefully, because it's very strong spring, can do lots of damages. Alright, so the next step will be prying out this cap with a screwdriver and removing this nut right here. Now there is a special tools, special set for those strut go through sockets. You can buy them from Snap-on or Mac. I chose to buy from this manufacturer. This is made in Germany. I like their quality, and if they have a good sale, I always buy this type of more expensive tools, let's say that. Now in my case it's going to be Torx and go through sockets, so let's see how it's going to get removed. Fairly easy, I would say, because all you need to do, just insert the proper bit, hold it with your wrench, and with your other hand loosen this, I mean holding this, and loosen this nut right here. So, but I cannot show you that because I'm holding camera with my hand. Now in my case everything came out extremely easy because of the help of proper tools, but if you don't have such a special sockets, here is my other advice. What you can do when the strut is still inside and you already compressed your spring, you can always hold this strut with a heavy-duty alligator pliers like this one, channel lock pliers, and because I'm replacing my strut, so I don't care about damaging this shaft, so you can just easy remove with the regular socket, and you don't need go through socket like this one, special designed for the struts. But when you will be installing strut, you cannot touch this portion of the strut, because if you do the scratches, damages like this, that seal will not hold the gas or oil, and it will leak right away, so you will damage brand new strut. So you can use this type of pliers as a holding tool during the removal, if you're not planning to replace this, if you're not planning to reinstall this strut, I'm sorry. But yeah, but during the installation you cannot touch this part. So when you will be installing, while the spring is still compressed, just retighten it with your hand as much as you can, at least 2-3 turns, and then once you expand the spring, you can retighten it all the way to the end, because the actual spring is going to hold this strut shaft, piston, whatever you want to call it, under the pressure, so you don't have to hold it anymore. The tension is going to hold it for you. Now I just wanted to show you why I've been removing this both struts. I'm going to replace all of them all around, even on the back, but that's on my next video. But so as you can see, it's completely dry, no leak, So it looks okay. Maybe some people would not replace it, but look, if I'm going to compress it with my one hand, it's just going to barely come out, and then it's going to probably stop at some point. It's barely coming back, barely coming back. It's supposed to come back instantly, I would say, instantly, but this one is just, it's done. So that's why I'm replacing, because it's shot after so many years of use. As you can see, new strut is identical, proper side, but it does not come with the rubber insulator, so you would have to use your original one. Usually they last like forever, I would say. Nobody usually replaces them on any vehicle unless it's worn out a lot, because you live in an area where they use lots of salt. Maybe it can damage, I have no idea, but I did not see one damage for a long time. So I'm going to clean it and reuse it on my new strut. Now the next step, I'm going to release the spring, and will be because I will need to remove the old strut mount and the washers. Now after you decompress your spring and remove it, separate it from the motor, from the strut mount, be careful, there is a special washer, so you will have to install it back the same way. The washer is going to be having special shape, like it's flat on the bottom, so this flat side will be going right here, and this side will be going against the mount. So on the new mount, it's going to go that way, just like this. Yeah, you can see how worn out. Well, this is just another washer that's going to be underneath of the bearing, but to keep the lubricant in place. But even if I remove it, I can touch it, move it with my finger, so the bearing is worn out. Plus the grease is so dry after 15 years, needs to be replaced. I'm going to clean this washer again and reinstall it. Also, it's with the grease going to the side of on the bottom of the bearing, new bearing. Yeah, this washer that I've been talking about, that I'm going to clean it, it looks like a cup, so it's holding all of the grease that will be maybe dripping down in case. So this cup will be going right here. Now when you will be removing your old mount, there is a special insulator metal plate and a gasket. In my case, it's still in working order. I don't see any problems. My gasket is not broken and the metal plate is good, so you can purchase a new one if needed. In my case, I did not need to purchase, so I'm just going to reinstall it back into the new mount. So this soft gasket supposed to face up underneath of the vehicle, but in my case, and in your case also, this is the last piece that you can reinstall it later on, so you can compress your spring, install your strut back in place, and this one will go as the last part. It will sit only in one spot because of this special pointing bolt that going to sit only in one place. You will not be able to install it any other ways, because this piece will not let you do it. Just like this. Now if this piece is broken, I'm assuming it's going to make little noise between the strut and the vehicle, so you better make one yourself. This is just like made of paper, I would say, like heavy duty paper, like a gasket maker paper, but any kind of strong material, like stronger than paper, will regular paper, I mean stronger than regular paper, will do the job. And the last part that I wanted to mention, this metal top plate that is sitting with the rubber insulator also. I did not even have to remove it. I'm just going to clean it from the inside nicely, and I'm ready to install everything back. There is one more thing that I wanted to mention. As you can see, those are 2 holes, but there's supposed to be at least one more, and in my case it's clogged with a little rust. So make sure that it's all clean from any kind of stones or rust, because this is your drainage holes. When the water is splashing underneath, it's not going to be collecting here, so it's going to drop down through those holes, drain down. So make sure they are clean, and if this plate is still reusable, in my case it is, for at least 5 years, I would say, at least. It has a little surface rust, but that's about it. Pretty strong. The rubber is still in good shape, so I'm not going to replace it. Just reinstall it, because it's not broken anywhere and it's not rubbed through. Now I'm going to put everything back in a reverse order. Before I'm going to install a bumper stopper, I'm going to use this rubbing alcohol to clean this shaft all around, so it will be perfectly clean. I don't want to use any brake cleaner, because I don't want brake cleaner to get inside of the seal. So now I am ready to install the bumper, and then the rubber boot goes on the top and it's going to lock right here. Then I'm going to install everything through the spring, and remember about this washer. The flat supposed to go to the facing down. Grease cup, grease holding cup, then like this. Now I forgot to mention that the bumper stop has a special ring, black ring, that goes inside this groove right here, and is going to sit tight, and only then you will be installing in this order. And comparably to some other shock brands or make of the models of the vehicle, it does not lock right here like Mercedes-Benz. It's actually sitting extremely tight here. Well, not extremely, but pretty tight. So, but this one is just sitting over the top of the shock absorber. So, okay, so in my case, because I'm using this particular style strut compressor, and when I'm going to compress this spring and push this plate against this one, I will need to hold that cup washer in place and this washer in place, and this is really confined place. There's no way you can hold it with any tools because it's tight. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my old strut and insert it from the inside as a guide, and it will hold both washers for me instead, as you can see, just like this. So my old strut will be using as an aligning tool. Now, after I compressed my spring enough, I can measure it more or less to see if it's going to be enough shaft to come out from the other side. I can remove this strut right here, and I can do it even, I can insert the new strut this way, so the washers will not move anywhere to the left or to the right. and remove the old strut from the bottom. Yes, in my case would be the best if I'm going to insert a new strut from the top, because this way I know for sure that my washers are perfectly aligned with the hole, and both of them will have to be aligned perfectly, and only now I am confident that everything is good and I have enough thread to come out from this side so I can install new nut. Alright, well, I'm going to retie this one a little bit more. Turn off my camera for a second. Now this is my setup, because I have those special tools with the go through sockets, pass through sockets, so it makes job really easy. But even if you don't have same tools, as long as you can tighten that nut as much as possible, then once you expand the spring you can finish tightening. The spring is going to hold that shaft in place for you. Now make sure that the top spring is sitting in the right spot, and the bottom one will be sitting once I'm going to slowly release my nut, compressor nut, and the spring is going to expand. I will be releasing with one hand, and with another hand I will be wiggling, moving this strut in a proper position so it's going to sit properly. It's actually going to sit right here. Okay, now this is the final result. As you can see, everything is sitting properly. Rubber seal is not jammed anywhere. I'm talking about this bottom insulator. Please note that there is no metal stopper for the spring to stop from spinning. I mean, comparably to Mercedes-Benz, it has a special metal stopper here, but maybe because the BMW made it on the top, I'm not really sure why they designed it like that, but well, I guess it works. I really do like Mercedes-Benz style boot more than BMW, because Mercedes-Benz style boot is actually sitting really tight here, so even if the shock strut is going to compress or on the bumps, the boot is going to sit firmly, not like this one, that any kind of debris, sand, water can get underneath. And on the top also it's open like this, and that's why you can see the evidence of rust. So the moisture was getting in from the top and was slowly going down the shaft. But it is what it is. That's the design, and that's how it works on BMW. So well, it's a fairly easy job, I would say, if you have proper tools and desire to do it. Now in my case I'm just going to reinstall the plastic cap, because I retightened that nut already, and I'm going to install this insulator on the top, and this is it. I don't think that I have to waste your time of showing you how to install everything back, because it's the same reverse order as when you've been removing, so you know already how many bolts involved. It's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and the wheel itself 5, yeah, including the link. So 5 bolts and you're good to go. Should be everything straightforward. Remember that this pin right here is going to go into the proper spot on your vehicle, which is to the inside of the engine. That's why you see 2 holes close to each other. Well, and this one I forgot about, this bolt that you have to put. So 6 bolts in total, and it's all done. Well, this is it. I hope that was helpful for somebody who is doing the same job on BMW. On my next video I'll be showing you how to replace the rear shocks. So stay tuned, and God bless you guys. Thank you for watching. God bless America, Canada and Ukraine. Bye. Again, as a bonus, after I say goodbye I always come back for a couple seconds. So lift up the complete knuckle. Don't lift up by hand, because it's too heavy. Unless you have somebody helping you and they're going to lift it up for you. But I'm doing everything by myself, so I just lift up with a jack put that bolt in, retighten it, retighten the stabilizer link, and only then I retied those 3 nuts and this bolt. It's pretty simple if you have a jack stand under the vehicle and the actual jack helping you out to lift up the complete hub. Alright, stay safe, bye.